Welcome back. After adding the attribute border, I have to save. Clicking on here, then I'll go to my Google Chrome, refresh it. You will see a small thing here. This is a table with one column and one row. So I will go back to my code. Whatever thing I put here will come inside the row and inside the column. Let me just assume I put one here. I save it. I refresh my Google Chrome. You will see it. I have one. If I copy this column and paste it inside this table row again, just under this TD, you can see that this TD and this TD, all of them are inside this TR, and I save and refresh. You will see I have two columns in one row. Now I want to have 4 columns and the 6 rows. How do I do this? I have to copy this 2 column, still put it here. You can see now I have 4 columns in one row. Then I have to copy it just this way, paste it into more 5 times so that I will have 6 rows, and each of the rows will have 4 columns. So this is 1 already. I will say 2, 3, 4, I come down, 5, come down, 6. Now I am having 6 rows, and each of the rows has 4 columns. Let me test the code by saving it first, going to my Google Chrome and refresh. As you can see, the table is showing I have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns, and here you can see the 6 rows that I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. Let's continue. So I think I'm getting ready for my calculator now. The next thing to do now is to use CSS to beautify this table so that it will look like a calculator. Before I will start using the CSS, I have to set the size of my calculator, setting the height and the width. In my Google Chrome, you can see the table, so I want to set the height. I will not set the width now because I know I will add numbers here like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just like a calculator, you know, and adding my plus key here and others. So I am going to focus on creating the height only, the height of this table, because the numbers that I will put here will determine how the width will look like. So back to my code, I will go to my table tag where my table started. You will see the table tag at the top. Add another attribute there. Beside the border tag, I will say height. Let me use 350 ps. 350 ps, and I click Ctrl X, which is save. Go back to my Google Chrome and refresh. You will see that I have set the height of the calculator. Back to my code, I would like to give this thing a background color of black, and I would like this thing to space a bit. I would like this one to space from this so that it will look like a calculator. I go back to my table tag here, then I will say cell spacing is equals to, let me say maybe 5 ps. Then I'll check how it will look like. I'll save, go back to my Google Chrome and refresh. You will see that it has spaced a bit, but this is not actually what I want. So I'm going to increase the cell spacing so that the space in between these cells will increase. Go back to my code. Maybe I will say the cell spacing is 10 ps. I save, refresh here. Have given me more space. I think this one is okay. Now I have to use CSS to change the background color and to curve this. I will curve this area, 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 so that to make it look like a calculator. Inside my code, add that table tag as well. I will create an inline CSS. There are three ways we can implement CSS in web. You can use inline, internal, and external. So at my table tag, the beginning table tag, that's the opening tag, beside this spacing I'm going to write style. I will say style is equals to, I will write my double quotes. Now inside this double quotes, I'll start giving this table a background color by writing background color. I will say colon, background color colon. Let me give space here so that you will be seeing what I'm doing. Background minus color colon. I will say black. This will change the background color to black. Then I will end it with semicolon. To curve those areas that I showed you, I have to say border radius, border minus radius colon. Let me use 15 ps to curve it. I put my semicolon, then I will save. If I run this my Google Chrome again, you will see I'm having a background, all of them being curved.